Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 89 of the Top Loaded podcast. And obviously, we're closing in on London Card Show, and we are happy to confirm that our London Card Show special will be returning next week for episode 90. And yeah, it seems like last week since the last one, but next week it will return. But most importantly, obviously, this episode is powered by Third Down Displays, your number one spot for card supplies, custom card stands, and great preparation kits in the UK. If you head over to our bio over on their Instagram, but if you do use the code TTP10, you'll get 10% off your order. So make sure you get that while it's going, because it's some great deals on there. And talking about that, I've got to order some custom stands, which just reminded me of, and that was the other thing I was going to talk about. But most importantly, the one and only HA Cars UK has arrived. There's been an American delivery, and he's managed to windle his way back onto the podcast. But Harry, you might be in a different location this week. It does look like you're under the stairs from Harry Potter, but how are you doing, my friend?
Yes, mate, very well. I've congregated to my sister's room, as unfortunately the office has no longer got a light in it. That was a nice last minute predicament I had before we started recording. I was like, right, where am I going to go? So booted my sister out, and yeah, this is now my little podcast office for the next hour or so. But yes, mate, I am I'm very well, very well. How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Like we said, we've had our massive US shipment come over, which we'll be talking about later on in the episode. But obviously, before we go into our talk today, we're just going to preview a little bit next week's special, obviously London Card Show, where we'll be joined yet again by the one and only Harry, who runs the London Card Show, and then also by a few guests. Obviously, Third Down Space will be joining us, and there'll be a few more special guests. So, H, obviously, is a wonderful time every time we end up at Esher, obviously every 3 months, but it's always great fun the week before. I feel that's when we really realise that the card show's here, when the London special comes along. So looking forward to that next week.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think it's obviously I missed out obviously on the previous London card show, obviously being over in Greece.
Yeah, no
So
one
yeah,
feels
very
sorry
much.
for you. No one. Sorry.
Obviously, yeah, very much looking forward to being back down, obviously in Isha at Sandown, obviously for the the end of year London card show. Obviously I'll be there on the Sunday only, unfortunately, due to work commitments. Obviously I'll only be there on the Sunday, so the Top Loader podcast boys are going to be separated, but we will still be there over the whole weekend. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a good weekend. Obviously, I know Harry's got a lot on the pipeline, which is going to be new compared to last show. So yeah, mate, it's supposed to be set to be a very good show. So I said very much looking forward to getting down there and picking up some little Christmas gift for myself, from me, down at the show. So yeah, very much looking forward to it. And as you say, also always a good episode of the London Card Show special. So I cannot wait for that one next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Obviously, I'll be there Saturday. You'll be there Sunday. So we're covering all bases. But like I say, it's the next evolution of the London Card Show, going to a full room capacity, which would be very interesting. Obviously, more tables, more people. So it'd be a fun one to see how it all goes. And obviously, the planning and then all the preparation, what we'll get the insider scoop of next week. But obviously, we don't want to talk too much about that and take it away from the special next week. So we are going to start with one of the new announcements of a set. Obviously, we previewed the first one. Harry opened one of the first sets. Obviously, Sidemen cards are coming back, and this time it's Chrome, which is appealing to a lot of people, especially myself. As of recording, this is obviously the Monday. If you haven't seen it, if you head over to Top's website or the Side Cards Instagram page, they have put the teaser images out, and I've got to say they look fantastic. Obviously, the super fractors are in the sets, which I know there's going to be a chase for, and I definitely think a few of the Sidemen will be chasing after their own super fractors, but also video worn or video memorabilia as well. We see it from Christmas Drillings for Vicstar. He has your one of one super fractor. So yeah, what a set this looks. And obviously you opened the first one and it went down quite a treat, but the Chrome is that step up, and it seems like, yeah, again, looks like it's going to be a very nice set.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much sort of hitting that on the head when you tell us it's almost like another evolution, another step up for sort of this sort of set, to go from obviously from your general sort of side cards. As I said, obviously opened up a box with Brian from obviously Sunday League Investors at London Card Show, funny enough. Obviously, yeah, was lucky enough to pull Bazinga Auto. But as I said, obviously, from what we've seen so far, the new sort of Topps Chrome side cards, it does look like a massive step up for them. I know, obviously, I've seen. They look almost like match attacks from the charity matches.
Yeah, it's quite
also
a
where
cool
they're in
design, that one. Very cool.
Yeah,
design.
obviously the autos was where essentially it's like a match attacks card, obviously with them in playing obviously in their Sidemen kits, obviously from the charity match, and also with the autos, obviously they're all their stats on there. So it does look really, really cool. So I think, it's definitely, I know also you've got a bit of an insider in terms of sort of the price in the boxes or what they're looking like. So I think it's definitely one that I'm going to try and pick up, at least the blaster box, obviously just see what they're like. And obviously we know Topps Chrome does have a really nice feel to it. And also, sidecars went down a treat last time.
Yep.
Obviously, some of the card designs from what we've seen so far do look, top tier. So it's definitely going to be an interesting set. Obviously, looking forward to hopefully when the checklist gets released and seeing a couple of boxes being opened to see what they sort of look like and some of the card designs straight off the bat. But from what we've seen so far, it looks pretty special. I think it's one of those ones where you look at stuff like Stadium Club Chrome and think, oh, the pictures look really good, the design, the imagery, and it's sort of a similar feel to the Topps Chrome sidecard in terms of what they've done with it, and it's just mad, isn't it, when you think about what from where they've come from to sort of what they're doing now. But yeah, the imagery and the card designs and the new sort of sets they've put into it, like the match tax, for example, it all looks very appealing. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping my eyes out for when obviously that drops and being able to sort of get my hands on a box and yeah, see what happens from there. But it's set to be a really, really strong release from Topps Chrome.
Obviously, it won't be everyone's cup of tea. Obviously, a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially younger collectors, grew up watching Sidemen content, so they'll be much more the targeted audience. But like I say, it's going to be a very interesting watch. Obviously, the first one came out at retail £25, so we expect it to be in a similar ballpark, maybe slightly more because it's Chrome. And then we're thinking as well there might be a similar things before. There was a guaranteed auto box. Obviously, it was about 3 or 4 times the price. I think it was around the 75 to the 100 area. So who knows? There might be a similar format to that, or do they go along the lines of what they've done for Women's Chrome and Champions League Chrome, at the blasters, and then you have hobbies. So, like I say, a lot more become more known to us this Wednesday on release. So, if you are thinking about grabbing some, do head over to the obviously uk.tops.com to check out this Wednesday and to grab a box. And obviously, we're hoping that it's not going to be like the first release, and it was quite a long wait in between ordering and being sent out. But most curated sets are like that now, that you have that wait. Summer signings was exactly the same. It just would be nice if it was printed before, and then as soon as you order it, you can pick it up, or even it would be perfect spending it's 10 days before the London Card Show. If it come out in 10 days, be perfect. You can pick them up at the London Card Show and then rip it there and then. So it will be interesting. Obviously, we don't know the true extent. We've seen some of the autos. Like I say, there's a match attack style card, which would be a very interesting one. I no doubt is Sidemen charity match related. Then you've got like the standard one of ones as well. And then also like video worn or video used memorabilia, which are cut up into the cards, which would be very nice one. So like I say, we'll follow it a lot more. There we go. The perfect time for anyone watching along. The even though as we're showing this, or anyone who hasn't seen it, if you head over to the sidecar thing, there's one thing that is very frustrating with this image. Is that they put the mags in. Like, I'm not saying people can't have their mags that way around, but to me, that's upside down. I always have the magnetic clip at the top, but like I say, they do look fantastic. Obviously, you've got Vicstar in the Christmas trees, which could be an absolute belter of a card if you hit that one. And
Yeah.
the only thing I'm thinking, that's a heavier card, so I hope people are not going to be weighing the boxes. But obviously, that's something completely different. There's the one-of-one Rotor Shore, which no doubt Mr. HA Cards will be chasing that one. But I would say Topps Chrome, one of the nicest looking sets. No doubt, I think a lot of people would agree. One of the best feeling cards, one of the best looking cards. So we are very much looking forward to the release of side cards and seeing how it goes from there. Obviously, this Wednesday, obviously tomorrow as of it coming out. Do check it out. Even if you're not going to buy, have a look at them, see what you think. Price point might be good to even have a little rip and then see what happens. If you hit a big card, there's going to be a big audience, and probably some of the Sidemen themselves are going to be wanting to buy their own cards. So there's definitely a one seller there. But like we're moving on from side cards, obviously, a lot of people won't be interested in that. But we're going to talk a bit more. It's obviously a bit quiet. Summer signings has just come out. I think summer signings is always a very staple of it. That is one of the first releases of every year. It's, in my eyes, nothing special, but still very good. You get some good autos, and obviously most of the time it is the first cards in people's new kits. Rasmus Højlund, obviously Man United, Jude Bellingham for Real Madrid, Declan Rice for Arsenal, to name a few. But Summer Signings are just one of them that it's a nice set, but obviously it's really just the first tester of the season, and it shows that the new season is here and more sets are on the horizon.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think, summer signings really is that sort of staple piece where it's like, right, we're into the new season now. And as you said, also, you've got a lot of players in their new kits. And yeah, it's that sort of going forward now where you're sort of easing into that last little, 2 months of the year. And before you head into the start of 2024, all the big releases start,
Yeah.
re-releasing for the following season. So there's some nice cards in the summer signing set. And also, we've had a bit of an influx and obviously fan sets that have been released in the last couple of weeks as well, which also I know we'll get onto. But yeah, summer signings really sort of, sets the benchmark in terms of, what we're going into the next couple of weeks. And the last 2 months of the year, sort of that last little mellow off now until obviously we start the new year, and also all the sets come out with the new seasons, and something to really look forward to. But summer signings is a nice release. Obviously, it's one of those where it's a bit like bit chalk and cheese. People like it, people don't, people aren't bothered about it. But yeah, so nice new players in there instead of new kits. You already named sort of the main few. So yeah, it's just countdown now, obviously till the new year and all the new sets. We basically start all over again.
Yeah, and talking about new sets, obviously you alluded to it there. It was the release of the fan sets last week, and obviously the four teams that bear the Topps license, obviously Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, all received the first team set. Obviously, it was Arsenal's first one. Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool have already had multiple sets already with them, but it's an entry level set price. It's £20 per box. No guaranteed autographs, but it's led to believe it's 1 in 10 to 15 boxes per auto. Obviously, which is quite a high chase. You get one non-numbered parallel, one numbered parallel, which goes all the way up to 399 this year. So the print run on the set is very, very high. Someone wants to run the maths on that, no doubt. The amount of actual autos to cards is very little. So, like I say, it's a nice entry level one. It's a nice one for fans of them teams. And it's a true collector's set of, you won't see many people buying to resell. There won't be much money in the autos even. Obviously, some of them will still bear a value. And obviously, probably the lower numbered stuff will do well. But most of it's a 399s to 50s, really anything like that. It could be anything from fiver up to a fiver to a tenner. So nice entry level set. So we can obviously, we've both delved into the Arsenal boxes to have a preview for the episode just to see what they're like. And it is a very, very similar format between the four teams. So anything we say here for Arsenal does apply for Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. But H, obviously, you just ripped one prior to this one. It's a nice set, nice looking set for the Arsenal collectors. Obviously, similar for the other three, but £20, cheap rip, nice looking cards, being official Arsenal license stuff. So, what's your first review on the product? And obviously, be the equivalent for the team sets of the other teams as well.
Yeah, I can't lie. I know it's ironic fan set. I'm actually quite a big fan of it.
Oui.
Yeah, I was waiting for that the whole episode. But no, I am really taken back by it. I think, it's one of them sets where for those specific team and those specific collectors that obviously, like for us, when we collect Arsenal, to have a set that is specifically based around Arsenal and the price point reflects that. If you want a Declan Rice auto, and obviously in the set, Martin Odegaard, etc., this is a pretty spot on, cheaper, probably alternative. So obviously to get those autos for a relatively good price. And obviously, I know you were lucky enough in your two boxes, and I'll let you get onto that after I've finished my little speech. But no, I really, really like it. I think it's really, really cool. I think, we both sort of said we're going to try and sort of collect certain parallels, autos, or numbered cards from the set as a whole across the board. But I mean, yeah, I really like it. I think it's a really cool set, obviously for us and me specifically, you yourself as well, obviously as Arsenal fans. The set is, it couldn't be further from, what we like, what we want to see, what we want to collect. So to me, this is perfect. And I regret not picking up probably a couple more boxes now, having to sort of rip that. But I'm a massive fan. I really, really like it. I think I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes out for stuff that comes up on eBay or Instagram or wherever, and trying to get my hands on sort of definitely a Declan Rice and an Odegaard also from the set. But no, I really, really like it. Really like it. I know you just also literally ripped a box prior to us starting to record, and I was lucky enough to hit two parallels. So it was Leandro Trossard obviously to 399, and then a Martinelli to 150. I mean the card designs really are, they're nothing. Let's say there's nothing special about them, but they are really, really nice cards, really, really nice sets. And yeah, I think I will probably definitely potentially look to pick up another box probably at London, and I'll see certain certain sort of stands. I know probably Sports Trading Cards UK, etc., will no doubt have a fair amount of stock of all the team sets. So I'll probably end up picking up another box probably at London and try my luck at an auto. But yeah, I said I'm really quite for the fan set, and I said I'm really happy with the Arsenal one. So yeah, the hunt is on for whenever these autos come on the market. And obviously we were saying prior to recording that a lot of the autos people don't buy necessarily the team sets to resell. So how much we're going to see on eBay, or how much we're going to see relisted, because if you're an Arsenal fan and you're buying an Arsenal team set and you pull a certain auto, the chances of you selling that really are quite slim. So unless it's in a break or something like that. But yeah, like I said, I really, really like it. And it's a really strong set. I said, if you're an avid collector of said team, of one of the four, it's a bit of a no-brainer, £20 a box, and it's a fun little rip.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think, like I say, how much of it will come up on this resale market is probably very little, just due to the fact that the people who are buying it are the collectors of those teams. But yeah, like I say, it was a nice rip, quick rip as well, which is always nice. Like I say, there'll be an abundance of them at London Card Show of all four teams. And obviously, they have done it in the past for Sociedad, Barcelona, and a few other teams as well, like Bayern Munich. So they are a fun rep, especially if you're a fan of them teams. You're guaranteed at least one numbered and one non-numbered parallel. So you're guaranteed a couple of hits. Lucky enough for me, I was one of the very, very fortunate ones. So I decided to buy two boxes, and a massive thanks to the guys at Kaboom, obviously the card store at Finsbury Park. I went there prior to the Arsenal match, and I thought, I'm standing in the Emirates Stadium. I might as well rip one. And I said tongue in cheek to my dad, who I was with at the game, if I'm going to rip one in the stadium, I know I'm going to get a Declan Rice autograph, being laughing, thinking, oh, yeah, this is funny. And then I somehow actually managed to hit the Declan Rice autograph, which obviously for any Arsenal fan is probably the main chase in the set, auto wise. Obviously, you can get numbered versions of his autos, but obviously, brand new signing. That and summer signings, he's got autos for Arsenal. So pretty much the maiden sets for his auto. So absolutely over the moon with that. And like I say, a very nice rip, especially for Arsenal collectors, or as we say, for the other teams as well. Not going to be expensive sets either. As you said, I think perfect. They're a very clean design. They're nothing. It's nothing overdone. The parallels are very subtle, and only a little bit of colouring on it, which I really like. It doesn't take away from the card. So, in all, I think it was a very good release. Obviously, reason why it's priced at £20 is very low chance of autographs. You only get one numbered per box on average. So, a very good rip. I would recommend anyone who's thinking about doing it, do grab one. Like I say, it's always a nice thing to rip a product. So yeah, like I say, that's another few cards in our personal collections. Obviously, you got Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. Funny enough, my two numbered was Martinelli and Jesus. So that was always fun. But obviously, moving on to our next talking point, and obviously, we always tongue in cheek say, oh, have we picked anything up this week? But we're actually not going to disappoint this week, which is rather nice. Everyone's probably thought, oh, they're going to say nothing. Well, it was the US shipment arrival today, so there is quite a few pickups. However, as well, H, you've actually got to pick up in person as well for the first time, I think, near enough since the last London car show that you attended, which was about 6 months ago.
Well, no, so I did get that dual auto, didn't I? Obviously, a Ramsdale and Ben White. But prior to that, yes, you are right. It's been definitely a little while now since I've got back into the action of it. And I obviously sent across two eBay listings to you and said, I'm torn. Which one shall I get? And we sort of ummed and ahed for a little bit. And I did end up buying one of said cards from eBay. And it was, in fact, obviously try and get a bit off the glare off it, obviously a Tomiyasu Prism, which is the green prism from Choice, and it is numbered 2 of 5. There you are. You can see just about in the reflection there. 2 of 5, which obviously is probably one of my lowest numbered Arsenal cards, I think it is. Obviously, I'm still chasing my first ever Arsenal 1 of 1. But yeah, I think it is my lowest numbered Arsenal card, and Tommy actually got a bit of a breakthrough into the first team, and yeah, saw that, and I was like, yeah, you know what, for the price I picked it up for, I think it was £50 I picked it up for. But yeah, number 2 of 5, Tomiyasu green. Let's not chuck it around everywhere. Tomiyasu, yeah, 2 of 5, obviously green prism from Choice. So I was very, very happy to pick that up on eBay, which was literally delivered this morning, and yeah, I know also I do have one card, obviously, from the shipment which Ronnie is kindly holding up for me now. Which is a bit of a random one. I know I bought it a long time ago. I think I must have bought it in June, July. We'll see. It has shipped over from the US shipment, which obviously is the 2018 Topps Chrome Alex Iwobi. Obviously mint 9 with the auto authentic. Saw it on eBay and I was like, you know what, cool. Why not? It looks it's an odd card you don't really see all that often, and 2018 Topps Chrome is a really really nice set. So I was like, yeah, why not? So I'm looking forward to picking that up when the next cross paths with Ronnie. But
Yeah,
yeah, thankfully I have a couple of bits and pieces to
I
run through on
say,
my pickups,
very
which is
nice
quite nice
card
for a
there, mate.
change.
Yeah, very nice card, the Iwobi. I think anything from that Topps Chrome don't really see much often, especially to 25 and to auto and graded. It kind of ticks all the boxes. And I think that's a very nice pickup. So obviously, it's very nice couple of pickups from you. I won't go through all my pickups because I don't want to bore everyone to death with my abundance, but there will be an onslaught on my Instagram for every day for about 4 weeks. There's going to be a card to post up, but I've picked a couple just to show off a few of my favorite pickups, and one is probably my probably my favorite card in my PC as well. But first of all, there was a nice little cheap pickup from Whatnot. Obviously, if I don't even have to say, if I just said I bought an Arsenal men's player, most people are going to guess it by now. Obviously, Mr. Granit Xhaka from Topps Deco, and this was on a Whatnot. They done a special soccer singles day, and for some reason, I decided to join a Kaboom stream. Didn't know what they had listed up. It was just singles on screen, and then this Granit Xhaka popped up to 25 also from Deco, and I was thinking, oh, I need that one. I want to try and get a Panini Auto, which he hasn't signed yet, Topps one, and then a Futera one. And I managed to get the to 25 for £13, which for me is an absolute bargain. Even I was looking on eBay and they're going for double, if not triple that. So sometimes you just got to be in the right place at the right time with Whatnot. And that's definitely a talking point for another day is Whatnot and how it's going on there. And then there's two more pickups that I'm going to show off on this episode of the podcast. And these will be seen on my Instagram very soon. First of all, is a very unique one, which I haven't seen much often. And this is a 1995 Arsene Wenger J League Gem Mint 10. Obviously, because it's a Japanese one, everything's in Japanese on the back as well. So, a card that me and my very good friend Louis L_Trey, so I've been chasing for a very, very long time. Is this Wenger card, and thankfully, believe it or not, I actually purchased off a guy in Japan who had opened a box for himself. Opened two boxes, got seven of them, sent them all off to PSA, and I managed to get a deal for a 10 and a 9. So that's one that I'm very happy to have added to the collection. Very rare card, and I think it's pop 3, I think, in the 10s, and I do thankfully own one. And another PSA card, which I think there'll be quite a few admirers of this one, is a Leo Williamson Inferno. PSA 8, obviously, it's a bit of a lower graded, but it's one of the best cards. First Chrome, obviously, an iconic women's player, not just for Arsenal now, but in world football. Just one of my favourite pickups. And then not finally, but certainly not least, the big pickup for me, and this is the pickup of 2023 for me. So when you see me at London not buying anything, this is the reason why. It is a Black Stenius 1 of 1 Sapphire Selections. Thankfully, in the background, I have the to 525 in the base. So this is the first time I can officially say in the trading card world, it is a complete rainbow. Very happy to manage to get this one. I am still looking for that one last card in the Burnt Leno Donruss rainbow, which has eluded me for about 19 to 22 months now. But like we say, that was a massive pickup for myself. And the question is now, H, and this is one that I'm going to throw out to you and the people watching. With this 1 of 1, would you grade it or keep it raw?
The question comes down to what you're planning on doing with it.
Well, it's staying with me forever, hopefully, God forbid.
Grade it. Oh, I would. That's what I do also with my 1 of 1 gun for Steiner. Obviously, I know it's flagship. It's very different to Topps Chrome Sapphire in terms of, the market value. That's not me. I guess a 1 of 1 is what you deem the value to be. But, realistically, a paper, obviously flagship from F1 compared to a Topps Chrome Sapphire, obviously is relatively different in terms of the market value. But for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. If with me, I knew I was keeping that gun for Steiner, was never really going to sell it, I had no plan to sell it. So for me, I was like, well, it's a bit of a no-brainer than to grade it. get it protected, get it graded up. You know, if it grades you know, I said to myself, if it grades anything less than a 7, I'll just crack it and keep it raw. Anything more than that, I'll be happy with an 8. You know, it's one of the things where it's just one for the PC and it looks nice slabbed up. So to me, if you're planning to just keep it and just have it in the PC for, you know, for the foreseeable, then yes, I would grade it, because I'm like, it gives it that extra protection. It looks nice, and you know, it adds that bit of, you know, I don't know what the wording is, but it adds that bit of flair to it. Yeah, it gives it that little zhuzh. But for me, also, you know, if you're planning on flipping it in the future and it grades, you know, PSA 7, you're knocking the value on that down, inevitably, I guess. So yeah, I think, you know, if you're planning on keeping it, for me, I'd be grading it.
Yeah, like I say, it is a pride of one of the collections now. Obviously, complete rainbow. Very fortunate, and I'll have to say a massive shout out yet again. Obviously, it was on the podcast very recently, but GBW for get me into the break to start the rainbow, hitting the base 25 and 5. No doubt I would never have pulled the trigger on the 1 of 1 if it wasn't for having the rest of the rainbow. So, like I say, it set me back a fair bit. So, yeah, I have been just eating soup for the last 2 weeks, but it's been worth it. Like looking at the gold superfractor, it's definitely worth it. So, hopefully, I'll be able to upgrade to some bread maybe next week. But like I say, it's always great fun picking up these cards. And like I say, on our Instagrams, there'll be closer look at these cards coming up, no doubt. On my one starting tomorrow, there'll be a lot more up close personal looks at the cards. As we say, it's London Card Show coming up soon, so no doubt there'll hopefully be a few more additions, and obviously the episodes coming 90, obviously London Card Show special 91 is obviously our review, look back and actually go through what we picked up and everything like that. But like I say, it's been an interesting week in the hobby. Is the American scene is getting quite interesting with the NBA, with players not signing with Panini anymore. Victor Wembanyama's rookie stuff is going absolutely mental with the start of the NBA season. So if anyone's following that along, please do watch out for these Victor Wembanyama cards, because they are mental. He's having mangas and color blast rookies going for 2 to 3 grand at the moment. And base autos are going for near enough 1,000 from Bowman Chrome. So that's going to be a fascinating watch. Obviously, the NFL season is about 10 weeks in now. Been a lot of injuries and trades, so the season's going very interesting there. The NWSL season's just finished. MLS season's rolling into playoffs. So the American side of it's all over the place. Obviously, the MLB as well is all finished up. So H obviously now is quite an interesting period. It's where there's more focus shifts over to the soccer products at the beginning of next year. Obviously, Champions League now is in full fruition, but obviously it's very different to this time last year because there's no World Cup to look forward to. So it's going to be quite an interesting couple of months in the soccer world. And for anyone wondering when the next Panini release is, no idea, because they put out their schedule this week and it had every other sport but soccer. So don't expect anything in 2023.
Yeah, it's always that sort of, you know, end of year, not sort of, I guess, doom and gloom a little bit, where there's not a lot of release, there's not a lot of, you know, newness to talk about, but it's why we have the London Card Show. You know, it's something for every collector in the UK to look forward to now. This sort of, you know, runs into the end of the year. You know, I know a lot of people sort of focus now on Christmas presents, etc., etc. So, you know, it's that sort of nice little end of the year. The top of the podcast Christmas quiz, I'm sure, is coming back for this year, or there's gonna be something in the pipeline, obviously, for a nice Christmas special. We've got the London Card Show special, so you know we're going to keep everyone entertained over the next 2 months in terms of while it dies out into the new year. But yeah, it's just one of them things where, you know, like you said, unlike last year, you haven't got the World Cup to keep us occupied. So we got unfortunately another international break this weekend. So yeah, it's rolling on obviously into London Card Show, and then obviously into Christmas, and then bang back into January, and we do it all over again. So yeah, it's a bit rolling now. Steady start, steady end into 2023. So yeah, we'll see what the end of the year brings, but I have no doubt we'll keep everyone entertained for the next 2 months with your endless amount of pickups to post for the next 2 months, and obviously what we've got in the pipeline. So yeah.
Like we say, it all balls up starts really next week as we bring to you episode 90, which is the London Car Show special, where we're joined by Harry, Third Down Displays, and a very special guest as well, just to wrap up the episode. Obviously, we love that one. So obviously, we endeavour to look forward to seeing you all there. Obviously, Saturday tickets are sold out now. Sunday tickets, there's still some available. So if you are thinking about heading down to the London Card Show, do Look out on social media, because sometimes Saturday tickets do come available. They're selected on the door, but do not travel without a ticket. Obviously, we'll be asking Harry a lot more questions next week regarding that. But like we say, a massive thanks yet again to Third Down for powering this episode. And do not forget to use TTP10 at checkout for 10% off. We're going to be using it very shortly after this episode. I've got custom stands to be ordering, and there's slab mags to be ordering as well. So like we say, do go and check them out. They've got some fantastic products. And if you want some ideas as well, head over to the Instagram, because they put out all the new custom stand designs on a weekly basis, and it gives you some inspiration of what they can get printed now. But like we say, I hope everyone out there is staying safe, doing well, buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. But most importantly, happy hobbying and good night.